been quite a while since I've laid a spanner on this Suburban. I haven't even driven it all this year either, so I'm going to have a look at the starter motor now. Last year, this was given just a few issues with just not starting when the engine was hot. I think it may be either like a solenoid or maybe the brushes in the starter. I don't know, but I'm going to pull it out and have a look now. This is probably not going to be a real big how-to guide on how to pull a starter out, especially on a big block Chev. There's probably thousands of those sort of videos on YouTube already. So I'm just going to pull the starter out and we'll have a look what we find on the bench. Now, obviously, before we go nuts with pulling a starter motor out, there was a rat in there. That's not good. Yeah, I'll get that little bugger, I tell you. We're just going to disconnect the battery. Yeah, look at this little bugger. Look at that rat nest. Friggin' hell, everybody got a bit of work to do to clear all that out. All the places to get a rat nest right at the back of the engine. I suppose it makes the most sense, doesn't it? But dog certainly likes the smell of it. What's in here, Augie? Hey, where are you going with that? Looking okay so far. Still got to get all that bit of crap out, but doesn't look like he's gone too much. Just try not to get anything in the throttle body, and yeah, we'll keep cleaning this up. So hey Augie, come on, out of the way. So I've taken the wheel off, not necessary, but just makes access a little bit easier. So these are real simple, 2 bolts at the back of the starter, or at the front of the starter, whichever way you want to look at it, and just the electrical connections up at the solenoid. So I'm going to drop those out and drop the starter down so it's a little bit easier to access those electrical connections. So I haven't even started pulling this out yet, but this little nut here, that's just loose. That's pretty much as I found it. The wiring's looking pretty average, so I'm going to get all this undone, pull it out, check out all the wiring directly. There's a relay hanging off the side there. Yeah, it looks a bit all over the place, to be honest. So let's start her out with, let's see the nut here on the solenoid that goes to brushes. That was loose, so whether that's making a difference, all these connections are a little bit, yeah, how you going really? Solenoids could be getting a bit old, may need replacing, I think. Unfortunately, it's not the US here, so, you know, as simple as like a 454 starter motor seems, that may not be all that available here in Australia, unfortunately. Like something like this off the shelf may not happen, but I'll strip it down and we'll see what we can find. So I've got everything stripped down. The bushes are looking a little worn. Obviously it's a pretty old unit. I had like all these connections here on the solenoid were all loose. I mean everything else looks okay. So I'm going to whack it all back together and I'll just see how it goes. If, like I said, with just those loose connections, just give them all a tighten up, see what happens. If it's still playing up, then I'll probably just bite the bullet and just get a whole new starter. It's probably just going to be the simplest method and the most reliable method. Like I said, if you're in the US, you could probably get all brushes and all little bits and pieces quite easily. Stuff that's not as easy here. That's just, unfortunately, we never had the market for some of this stuff, so you know, it is what it is. So I've just put in that starter motor, so let's see how it goes. Well, I'll tell you what, that's cranking over heaps better than what it did before. A lot faster to crank over, so maybe just tightening up a few little connections has made a massive difference there, but I think I'll still probably end up replacing this motor, starter motor. It's just getting old. There was a few, what was left of, well, like a rubber grommet for the power into the actual starter motor itself. That's all disintegrated, so it can pretty well easily let water straight into the thing. Yeah, probably just be safe bet. We'll throw a new one on.